Do you remember the way you felt the first time you watched this?
You failed, Your Highness. I am a Jedi, like my father before me.
Or how about this?
You were the chosen one!
Or hell, even this. Star Wars is a generational franchise that hooked us as kids and continues to bring us joy as adults. These scenes impact us in a fundamental way, and these movies give us a sense of childlike excitement, free from the world-weary cynicism of adulthood. So, why is it, over the last few years, every time I've gone onto Disney Plus and seen there's a new Star Wars TV show, my reaction is always, ugh. When I take a step back, I think about how insane it is that a franchise that I love can cause this kind of reaction. Whatever the show is, I feel compelled to watch it, but I know it's going to be a mediocre slog. Is it me? Am I just over Star Wars? No! Star Wars is freaking cool, man! I'm absolutely certain that Disney can pull Star Wars out of the Sarlacc pit that it threw it into, and I've got an internet-friendly, numbered argument to get us there. Let's punch it! Before we begin, I have to mention that my producer Wendy is looking deep and mysterious, which is strange because normally she just looks fucking gormless. What's up? Nothing of my concern. That's annoyingly mysterious. Anyway, my first argument may seem counterintuitive considering what happened with the sequel trilogy. They brought in JJ Mystery Box Abrams to start the trilogy, but then had no idea about how they were going to finish it. So by the time that episode 9 came around, the whole thing had fallen apart. So what they need to do is plan more, right? Wrong.
That doesn't compute. Wait.
I'm sick of seeing these future lineups at conventions for big franchises, full of a sea of content that no one can get excited about because we have no idea if any of them will ever get made. Firstly, it cheapens the creative process, making movies and TV shows feel like an assembly line. Secondly, it weakens excitement for what's coming next, because you're dragging focus away from it to list off years' worth of other stuff. And third, time has proven that while a long-term plan worked out for Marvel 20 years ago, making extended plans like this is not a good idea. Because what happens when you plan 5 to 10 years ahead and don't pay enough attention to what you're making now is the Dark Universe. Remember the Dark Universe? No, because it never happened. Making grandiose plans that all fall apart the moment you stumble is a terrible idea, because then rather than have to rethink what your next year looks like, you have to rethink what your next 10 years look like. And if some Disney producer thinks they're too good to fall to criticisms or bad luck, go over the hall at Disney Studios and ask Kevin Feige how Avengers Kang Dynasty is coming along. There's nothing wrong with having long-term plans, but they need to be malleable, ephemeral, something that's in the back of your mind that you'll get to if you get lucky enough to try. Come up with something new and put all of your effort into making that thing good. Hey, something's definitely going on over there. Come on, fess up. You're not going to tell me? All right, fine. Keep your secrets. Oh, sorry, wrong franchise. Remember when it was the build-up to The Force Awakens and everyone was excited about new Star Wars?
Before the dark times.
Those days have long passed, and now there is nothing special about new Star Wars content coming out. Worse, the quality of the content coming out of the last few years has been so bad that anytime something new comes out, we assume the worst. We need a hard reset. And while they seem to have realised that with the movies, they completely undercut themselves by releasing the newest season of The Mandalorian patched together as a movie, continuing the trend. No more movies, no more TV shows. Give everything a rest and then announce the next movie. Something big, something exciting. Let casual Star Wars fans miss the franchise long enough for them to want to see it return. I get that it's hard for any studio to want to do that with a popular franchise, but Disney's already making a ton of money out of Star Wars every year, from its theme parks to its merchandise. Once you've had the reset, then you have to tread the fine line between too much content and frustration among fans about how often they get something new. Speaking as a James Bond fan, I think it's safe to say that you can err on the side of too little. I'm not thrilled that we're having to wait years and years for the next movie, but when they finally announce it, I'll be stoked. And I know I absolutely would not want a new Bond spin-off TV show every year. I'm not saying you can't make a Star Wars TV show anymore, but there has to be a real reason behind it. Andor had a reason behind it. It was a complicated story that needed to slowly build towards something. There are plenty of reasons why you might want to make a TV show, but it should start from, hey, we have a great idea for a TV show, rather than, hey, we should make a Star Wars TV show. What should it be about? Hey, what have you got over there? A box. I can't see what's inside. Some kind of Mystery box.
It's them. Blast them.
Get back to the ship! Where are you going? Come back!
Certainly has courage.
What good will it do us if he gets himself killed? Come on.
Welcome back. Wendy still hasn't revealed what's inside her mystery box, which is fine, you know, I don't even care. I'm not interested at all. I remember watching the Ahsoka TV show and constantly feeling like I was watching the second season of a show after having missed the first. Sure, you don't need to know who all these characters are, but it feels frustrating when you're missing backstory that I would have had if I'd watched the Clone Wars. And I at least knew who Thrawn was. I can't imagine how confusing that show was if you'd never heard of him before. And I think this is the big problem that Star Wars has had since the Disney takeover. They're just appealing to die-hard fans. Let's make a movie explaining why the Death Star had such a major flaw. Let's make a movie explaining how Han Solo got his name. Let's give Chewie that medal that he didn't get in A New Hope. I've got an alternate take. Let's not. Let's not make the starting point for our creative decisions revolve around what nerds argue about online. Let's not make the starting point for movies and TV shows be, how can we make something around this minor character and the ancillary material? The moment you do this is the moment you stop making new fans and start spiraling into something that less and less people are interested in. I'm sure some guy who's got the Blu-ray box set of the Clone Wars and a stack of EU novels on the shelf had a great time with Ahsoka, but projects like this force rapidly diminishing returns and alienate newer viewers. Doctor Who is another recent example of this, where you drag up old characters and references to please mega fans and butcher your franchise in the process. But what does it matter if the franchise isn't getting any new fans? Why can't it just please the existing base? Oh. Right. The original trilogy worked because it told a simple yet effective story with characters that we enjoyed spending time with. When The Force Awakens was released, I was really excited because we finally had another cast of characters that were likeable and interesting. They'd learnt their lessons from the prequels. Then everything they've made since has seemed to have forgotten all of those lessons again.
That is why you fail.
I was astounded by how little I cared about any of the characters in Rogue One, an entire crew of characters with one personality trait between them. The Star Wars prequels had extremely poor characterization, but at least I liked some of those characters. Hell, Kit Fisto is a character from the prequel trilogy who has no lines, and yet I still remember his dumb Star Wars name. Fisto, George? Really? Because he's memorable. I couldn't name you a single character from Rogue One except Andor, and that's literally only because they made a TV show after him. And the ironic thing? Andor is the best thing Disney has done with Star Wars, and the worst part about it is Cassian Andor. The Avian leader does his best, but the character just isn't interesting. Imagine if, instead of Andor, we'd had a character with charisma and opinions, and watched him go through the arc of becoming a revolutionary. That'd be something, huh? Interesting stories and fun characters. Sure, it's easier said than done, but I feel like the Star Wars franchise is already doing a lot of the heavy lifting when it comes to creating them. Jedi, Sith, bounty hunters, rebels, Dexter Jetster. Give me characters. Ones that believe in something, ones that have opinions, not just backstories. Alright, this is bugging me too much now, Wendy. Tell me what's in the box. Or else. Oh shit, she's got a gun as well. Okay, I guess we're in a standoff then. Bloody hell, what are you doing? We were in a standoff. What kind of psychopath shoots first? So we've reached a point where Star Wars needs a course correction, but a glance over the upcoming projects on the wiki does not fill me with confidence. They're sat on one of the most fun, interesting franchises in the entire world, and they have no idea what to do with it. I've listed off what I think they should do. Stop planning so far in advance, just work on the next big project. Take a pause and stop churning out so much content. Get away from fan service and just create new, fun stories. Good stories, interesting characters. It's not that hard. But what do you think they should do? Let me know in the comments, and if you like this video, please do consider hitting the like button. It really helps us out. Okay, just tell me, Wendy, please. It is bugging the hell out of me. What's in the box? What's in the box? Oh, it's just your lunch. Is that it? Seriously? Wendy, we can't set up a mystery like that only to have a disappointing reveal. It's like Rise of Skywalker. People won't stand for it. We have to be careful. If Star Wars is anything to go by, the audience is only going to give us 8 more chances.